Okay, welcome to your training. Okay, in this course, right, in this training, we're going to be talking about two different things. We're going to talk about confidence and we're going to be talking about motivation. And those two are like brother and sister, okay? In order to be confident, right, um, you have to know what you're doing, right? And motivation, right? The motivation to keep going, the motivation to persevere, the motivation to try new things comes from confidence. So it's very important to understand what is confidence? Where does it come from, right? When you feel strong, so we're going to go right into it because that's how I work. I want you guys to overcome these challenges and blocks so you can show up in your business and kill this shit, right? Where does confidence come from? When you feel strong, you naturally engage more. When you're right, when you feel strong, when you feel smart, you naturally engage more. When you feel like you have something to say, when you feel like people are going to listen to you, you naturally engage more with your ideal clients, right? Not only your ideal clients, but in all areas of your life and in your work, right? And that's because when you're feeling confident, you're broadcasting a higher energy, which is an attraction energy. It's an attraction energy that draws the right people toward you. It's an energy that draws your ideal perfect client to you with ease and flow. And let's be real here. We don't want to work harder to hit our financial goals. We want to work smarter. We want to work from a place of alignment. We want to work from a place of ease and fun, right? And attracting the right people to you, right things to you, the right opportunities for you to you comes from having this positive, confident energy, right? That's how you get motivated to do all the things that you want to do, including all the things you don't want to do, right? But why is it that some people, right, seem to have all of the confidence in the world while other people struggle to believe in themselves, even just a little bit? And maybe, you're tempted to believe that it's a matter of how you grow up. And yeah, that does have a little bit to do with it. It also has to do with how you've been treated in relationships. It does, because in all experiences of our life, experiences plant seeds in our head. And so it's not just about that, because those experiences, those things in particular, can certainly impact your self-confidence, right? But there's something else. There is something else, right? And whether you've ever heard this before or not, confidence can be learned. It is a skill. You can't teach yourself. You can teach your brain how to be confident. And that's wonderful, right? You probably never heard that before. Wait, I can learn to be confident? Yes, you can learn to be confident, right? It's a combination of telling yourself that you're confident. You can just wake up one morning and from this very moment, start telling yourself every moment, I'm confident, I'm smart, I'm great at what I do. And that is a great way to start, right? You can learn it. It is a vital skill to learn. And at the end of the day, the more confident you are, the better results you're going to get, right? The better results you're going to get in your life, in your business, because confident people seem to get more opportunities, don't they? And they have better experiences than those that don't have as much confidence. And it's not necessarily because confident people are smarter, okay, or luckier, or born that way. It's because they believe in themselves, and so they operate from a place of positivity, of passion, of strength, instead of walking into a situation hoping and praying, for scraps, okay? You walk in with this assurance that you're just as talented. If you walk into an experience and a situation with the assurance that you're just as smart or smarter, just as qualified or more than qualified, you're going to naturally embody this higher energetic frequency that's going to attract those people that are going to say, there's something about this person, and I just know they're the right person for this. And that's where confidence, right? You learn that. You can learn that. So, whether you realize it or not, right? Confidence impacts every area of your life. So if you've been struggling with this skill, don't worry, right? Don't worry about it one bit. You can overcome, right? You can learn. And you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I learn? How do I learn to be more confident, right? Well, one of the things to ask yourself is, first of all, who do you know that seems to be naturally confident, right? Who you research right now that maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's someone in your own field that you can say, okay, what do I believe that makes them confident? And I want you to write down the qualities that you think this person has, that your mentor has, someone that you look up to, someone in your same field that seems naturally confident for you. And what do they sound like? How are they dressed? How do they carry themselves? And I want you to write down those attributes and make a list, okay? Make a list. And then when you're done making that list, I want you guys to ask yourself, what are you missing from that? What am I missing? Which one of these attributes can I embody that I believe? Because it's all about your belief system, you guys. You can change anything with a belief. If you believe you're not confident, you're not going to be confident. If you believe you're confident, you're going to be confident. If you believe something is possible for you, then it's going to be achievable for you. If you believe something is impossible, then you're going to look for every reason that it's difficult. Okay, that's just life. That's the basics, like mindset 101. So when you look at these attributes of this mentor or coach in the same field as you that seems confident, are there any qualities that you want to embrace? Are there any qualities that you're not embracing yourself right now, right? That would feel natural to you. You guys, if you're not bubbly and happy all the time, like me, I'm not laughing all the time. I'm really not, and I'm not bubbly all the time. There are days that I show up on my Facebook Live and I'm really mellow and I'm just honoring who I am and my authenticity and my transparency. But there are people out there who have high levels of energy, who are smiling ear to ear, and that's just not me, right? So I don't want you guys to embody characteristics that are not natural to you, right? But I want you to look at what characteristics make up someone who is confident, right? Then I want you guys to look into as far as where do you believe your confidence or lack thereof comes from? Does it come from your childhood? Like, were you supported as a child? Did your parents yell at you all the time? Were you supported in school? And especially when you're a child and people ask you what you want to be when you grow up, you know, were your dreams laughed at? Did people support your dreams and your goals? And write down every one of those experiences because those are seeds that we hold on to in our subconscious. Okay? The brain doesn't remember what happened, like if something happened yesterday, today, or if you're thinking about the future, it's just a snapshot of what's happened in your life. And so your brain holds on to those memories and then it attaches an emotion to it, right? You attach an emotion to it. So if you can look back at these experiences, like, well, I remember I told my mom I wanted to be a ballet dancer, and she's like, no, you're too fat, or whatever it is, right? That totally plants a seed in your head that you're not worthy of being a ballet dancer, and then you end up always overeating because your mom called you fat. And that's an example of mindset that you can shift. This is the reason why a lot of people have confidence issues and self-worth issues, and it comes from your childhood. So I want you guys to take a look at where in your childhood did you not feel supported or did you not feel confident, okay? And number 3, the third question for this is, do you believe that confidence is a skill or is a mindset? This is very important too, because whatever you believe is important to you, right? If you believe the sky is purple and you see purple, guess what? It's purple to you. Even if it's blue to someone else, you see it that way, right? So if you believe it's difficult to gain confidence, then it's going to be difficult to gain confidence, okay? So it's very important to look at your perspective right now. And then at the end of this training, I want you guys to analyze, go back to the beginning of this, go back to here, and then compare where your mindset was in the beginning and where it is at the end. And I will have you guys do this again when you finish the training. But this is your first like exercise for today, because I want you guys to totally get that and mark that down. Okay, so I am doing these in smaller parts because there's a lot of deep dive journaling and I didn't want to bombard you with like a million questions at once. Okay, so you can right now pause this and answer those questions, or you can go right through it, right? You will have your worksheet so you can go along, you can follow along, you can pause it and keep going, okay? The next part of this is to look at situations that you currently feel you don't like, situations that have been really easy for you to get stuck in because it's normal for you. Because when you understand the cause of your low self confidence, that is the key into overcoming it, right? And so I'm going to share with you 4 of the most common reasons that people lack confidence, right? One of them could be like frequent self criticism. If you're always worried about what others see when they look at you, what they say if you show up as your authentic self, if you fret that people won't like you because of whatever you look like, because um, you don't even like yourself, you don't even think you're good enough to be on film, and that happens to a lot of people. Excuse me, that happens to a lot of people. And your perception of beauty is going to be different than someone else's perception of beauty. Is your message worthy, right, of more than what you look like? I have done live videos hung over on my bed in my groups, and I've said, geez, aren't I lucky that I get paid to chat with you guys hung over from my bed, because my brain works, right? I may be hung over and I can't have, like, I don't have makeup on and I just want to go back to bed. And this particular incident did happen when I was doing a 5-day challenge or 5-day training in my Facebook group. And I switched that perspective. I did not show up for my audience. I said, hey, I treated myself for the first time in months, hung out with my friends, hadn't drank in forever, and here I am showing up for you guys, and I am so thankful and grateful that I'm sleeping in with my kid, and because my kid she waited up for me, so she woke up late. And, we had an easy day and we slept in, and here I am still showing up for you and giving you value, right? Or I could have seen it like, oh my gosh, I'm so irresponsible. No one's going to take me seriously. What are my clients going to say, right? So I could have seen it from both perspectives. So it takes practice to stop criticizing yourself. So if you are frequently criticizing yourself, take a look at the parts about your life that you love, and make a list of that. Make a list of all the things that you love about yourself. Very, very important. Okay. If you've encountered trauma in your life, which I 100% believe that everyone has encountered trauma, whether it's low trauma, high level trauma, your body doesn't know the difference. It's just anything that has caused you pain is a form of trauma. So it does come in many different forms, and it's trauma has been linked to low self confidence. So I would look at all the experiences that you've had. So take a look at all the experiences that you've had in your life, whether it's bad breakups. I mean, some breakups are good. I've heard stories that some people have mutual breakups, and that's fine. But if haven't had a mutual breakup with someone and your heart was broken, or someone let you down, or someone betrayed you, if you grew up in a broken home, like divorced parents, that it was traumatic all on its own. So look at those areas in your life and see if you've healed from them. If you haven't healed from them, then I would suggest that you look into healing those areas specifically. What I like to do is I like to open up space for letting these emotions fall through and say, okay, I'm sitting in this experience. I picture myself in the experience. Usually I close my eyes and I picture myself in that experience. And then I take note of what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and I step outside of myself. So I'll take 2 steps back, and now my past self is in front of me and my current self is behind. So I'm looking at my past self standing in front of me, or wherever my past self is in that situation. And I send love to myself, and I'll just sit there and I'm sending love to myself, and I'm telling myself, you've learned so much, you've grown so much. I no longer choose to be part of this narrative, right? And trauma is a very big thing. We can't cover trauma in this training, because trauma on its own is something that we would have to clear on a deeper level. But so, for the sake of this training, if you've experienced trauma and you haven't healed from it, that could be an indication as to why you have low self confidence and why you're not motivated, right? Because confidence and motivation go together. Okay. So, I would definitely write a list of all my traumatic experiences and find a way to close a chapter on those and change your perspective on those. And you can do that in this training if you do have a few of those experiences. And I would make a list of those experiences, write out how you felt, write a forgiveness letter. Forgiveness letters are amazing for this particular, to let go of this, and then burn the letter, burn the letter, and then give yourself thanks and gratitude for the learning experiences. And that's the short version of it. Like I said, can't really get into it because we're not healing trauma in this training. But if that comes up for you, then yes, I would take some time out to heal from that. Okay. The third part of this is of why you may not have confidence is because you've had unrealistic expectations. Because it's not always about what you think about yourself, it's about what you expect, right? If you're a perfectionist or perhaps raised by one, you may believe that everything you need to do needs to be perfect. And I see this happening with a lot of entrepreneurs because, for example, oh, my website has to look amazing. My landing page has to be perfect before I send out the freebie, or before I connect with my potential idea client, or before I even try to sell something. And that's not necessarily true. All you need to sell is three things, right? A product, a service, an audience to sell to, and then a way for people to pay you. So often because of this, people will struggle with unrealistic expectations and low self-confidence because they believe that their identity is and their success is tied to the things they do, right? Your success is not tied to the things you do. Your identity is not tied to the things that you do. And so what this does is it creates a problem that when you do something imperfectly, it also brings you back to that not being worthy, not being good enough, right? And then you label yourself as a failure or a fraud. So the best thing to do in this situation, if you've set up unrealistic expectations, is to take a step back, right? And I want you guys, if this is you and this is where you fall on the spectrum, ask yourself if you would rather have the same expectations for someone else, right? If this was your client, would these be the expectations? For example, if you're trying to build your Instagram page and your Instagram following, it's an unrealistic expectation to go from 0 to 5,000 in 30 days. Okay. And so what would be more realistic? 2 or 3 followers a day. So about 100 a week is normal. Usually I average 100 to 170 a week now. And so that's what's been realistic for me now. So my expectation, I would put it at that. So unrealistically, I'm not going to go for $500 followers a week, because that's not my normal. That's not what's been happening, right? So would you expect, or would you place these expectations on your own clients, right? That is a question that I would look at. The next thing you could be on the spectrum is past decisions, right? So everyone has a past. We all do. And everyone has done something that they're ashamed of. But for some people, they become hyper-focused on what went wrong, right? Instead of practicing self-forgiveness, instead of reminding themselves that everyone's messed up and it's a learning process and it's a learning opportunity and it's a growth opportunity. And now that they know how to do better, this particular predicament will happen differently, and they'll be better able to overcome it the next time it comes up, if it ever comes up, right? But if you believe that your identity is linked to your past mistakes, right, or things that didn't work out, then that's the reality that you're going to create for yourself, because that's what you believe to be true, right? So, for example, if you go through life saying, "Well, I never did good in school, and I always procrastinate. I'm always procrastinate. I've never done well in school." Then what's going to happen is that's the reality that you're going to create for yourself. And then when things come up, you're like, "Well, I always procrastinate, so I'm always picking the bad men, so I'm just pick bad men. And energetically, from a law of attraction and manifestation perspective, what you focus on happens. It comes true. It comes to life. So if you believe and you keep saying that you're going to attract bad people, if clients are hard to find, if I'm just not motivated, or I'm just not confident enough, that's the reality you're going to create for yourself, because your brain is not here to make things difficult for you. The brain is here to support you, right? Your brain is here to support you. Your emotions support you. Your energy supports you. Your behaviors support you, right? And so it supports whatever you believe to be true. So shift that mindset where you believe something differently, okay? Because your mindset is what is undermining your confidence right now. So if I were you in this particular scenario, I would ask myself, okay, hold up. My mindset right now is undermining my confidence, right? Do I often criticize myself for my shortcomings, for my flaws? Ask yourself that question. Do I frequently criticize myself, my shortcomings, my flaws? And what am I holding on to? What am I holding on to from my past that is keeping me from becoming confident? What am I holding on to from my past that is keeping me from becoming confident? And then the third question from this particular section is, how can you reach for more self-forgiveness and let go of your past? How can you forgive yourself? Self-forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do. I am talking from experience and also from my clients. But it's so well worth it. And that's definitely going to help shift you from not being motivated, not being confident, to being uber confident and to freaking walk and talk exactly how you should be walking and talking, because you know what you need to do. You know how to help your clients. You know that you're good at this, right? You know that you can teach this stuff with your eyes closed, but there are those moments that hold you back. And so figuring this out, figuring out those little bits and pieces that hold you back is very important to raising your confidence and your motivation, right? So with this being said, right? With this being said, what I want you guys to do is to not do module 2 straight away, right? Or module 1, because this is like, so this pre-work, right? This video is the pre-work to the course. And I personally added this pre-work after I recorded the whole course, because I felt it was very important to show you guys the connection, the relationship between confidence and motivation, right? Because in the next few modules, we're going to be talking a lot more about motivational factors and where that comes from. But confidence is right there when it comes to motivation. So where do you lack your confidence, right? How can you build your confidence? And so I want you guys to not do the next official module, module 1. I don't want you to start there straight away. Especially if you're healing trauma, and especially if you're going back into your past and you're thinking about childhood experiences, I want you guys to give yourself 24 to 48 hours to really process those experiences, okay? Because what you're doing is you're bringing those emotions to the surface. And the whole purpose of that is to clear that, to clear those experiences where you don't feel confident, to clear the trauma that has kept you stuck, right? To clear that mindset. And once you clear it and you create the space energetically, and you create the space in your heart chakra, and you create the space in your mind, then you're better able to fill it with something positive. And that's what we're going to be doing in module 1, module 2, module 3, and module 4. So I implore you to take the time out and look at those areas and say, okay, am I not confident? Am I not motivated because of past trauma? Am I self-sabotaging myself because of something, right? Is my past experiences just holding me back, right? So very important to look into that, figure that out, and then I welcome you to start the modules with a clear head. And if something else comes up for you, I want you guys to take notes, write that down, pause the videos, pause the training, step away if you have to. Take deep breaths, go do a 5-minute deep breathing if something comes up, right? Don't have to do the training head on back to back. That's going to be very I don't want to say intrusive, but it's going to be, very hard. It's going to be in your face. And so if you've never done this type of training before, it's gonna bring up some stuff for you, and some of the stuff that comes up may not be pretty, right? And it's because, guys, I want you guys to understand that, you know, our brain keeps stuff hidden in our subconscious because it doesn't want us to continue to hurt. It doesn't want us to continue to self-sabotage. But what happens is subconsciously you are self-sabotaging, right? You can wake up right now in the next 5 minutes and say, you know what, fuck this training. I choose to be confident right now. I choose to motivate myself because I'm going to freaking do what I want to do and I'm going to achieve my goals. And that's probably, all you need to keep going, right? To keep going for the next 5 minutes, to keep going for the next 20 minutes, the next 2 days. But what happens is that if you don't heal all those areas of your life that you're holding on to, that are self-sabotaging yourself, that are keeping you stuck and keeping you unmotivated, that's going to start that loop, that roller coaster of like, yay, it's great, I'm doing amazing, oh, and then yay, okay, I'm doing amazing, this is great, and then, right? So I don't want that for you. I want you guys to really look at those areas of your life as far as, why am I not motivated? Why don't I have confidence? Who the hell, made me believe that I was not worthy enough, good enough, or, smart enough, whatever it is enough, right? To be who I want to be authentic, to be loud, to be raw, to be me, 100%. Who the hell cares? Everyone's so different and magical and wonderful in their own way. But then along the way, as we grew up, people are telling us how to behave, how to show up, what to believe, what to become, right? And so now we have to shed those layers of the ideas and the beliefs of who we thought we had to be, just to find a freaking sliver of who we think we are right now. Because who you are right now is a result of all your past experiences. Who you are right now is a result of all the beliefs that you've carried with you throughout your life. And if who you are right now is not some of the person that you want to be, is not the person that you are confident to look at in the mirror and proud of, then there is a lot of shedding that needs to be done. There's a lot of letting go of beliefs that we've been carrying with us, okay? And that's okay. We all do this, okay? Everyone goes through this, and a lot of people don't even know what the name of it is, right? And so we are shedding these versions of ourselves that no longer serve us. You're shedding versions of yourself that do not support who you are today and your journey and where you're supposed to be and what's meant for you and your purpose, right? And so it's an honor. It's an honor to be here with you. It's an honor to guide you through this journey. And I am thankful and grateful more than anything in the world that I am able to help you along this journey and to see you on the other side. So I want you guys to carry with you through this training an open mind to believe new things and the strength, right? The strength to let go of all those beliefs that don't serve you and all those versions of you that are just not helpful to you right now, right? So with that being said, I send you massive love, massive blessings, and I will see you in the rest of the training.